Good afternoon, children. Today we are beginning with a new lesson from Flamingo, Indigo by Louis Fischer. Indigo is the story of how Gandhiji decided to urge the departure of the Britishers from our motherland. The chapter is an excerpt from Louis Fischer's book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. It is an account of British high handedness and oppression and the contributions made by the masses to the freedom movement. The events and the facts in the chapter help the reader understand the method of Gandhian activism very clearly. Louis Fischer was born in Philadelphia. He served as a volunteer in the British Army between 1918 and 1920. Fischer made a career as a journalist and wrote for the New York Times, the Saturday Review, and for European and Asian publications. He was also a member of faculty at Princeton University. The following is an excerpt from his book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. The book has been reviewed as one of the best books ever written on Gandhi by Times Educational Supplement. Today, children, we are going to touch the following points from Indigo. First, what led Gandhi to urge British departure? Second, the woeful tale of Champaran peasants. Third, Shukla's persistent pace. And fourth, a visit to Rajendra Prasad's house. Now let's begin with the lesson. Indigo on page number 46 according to my book. When Louis Fischer met Mahatma Gandhi, let us see what does he communicate to him. When I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. Children, it appears that Mahatma Gandhi never wanted as if the Britishers to leave the country. There can be various reasons. Various historians and politicians have talked about it. The first reason that we can assume is that it was only Britishers under whom the country was united. Otherwise, the country was divided into various regions or kingdom under various powerful rulers or kings. The second reason that we can assume that why Mahatma Gandhi would have never thought of Britishers' departure is that the progress in the development of the country was made possible by the Britishers. For example, the results of the industrial revolutions, the effects of the result or the results of industrial revolutions were visible in our country also because of the Britishers. Many things like printing press or railways or the roads and various mechanism was brought into the country. The technology was brought into the country by the Britishers. So these can be the reasons that why Mahatma Gandhi would have never thought of Britishers' departure before. But in 1917, for the first time, Mahatma Gandhi decided that the Britishers should leave the country. He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. So these were the part of the convention there, the meeting there. During the proceedings, Gandhi recounted. Now recounted is Gandhi is recalling that incident. A peasant came up to me looking like any other peasant in the country, India, poor and emaciated, means very downtrodden in a miserable state. He was just like the other peasants and said, I am Rajkumar Shukla, I am from Champaran and I want you to come to my district. Gandhi had never heard of the place. It means Gandhi had never heard about Champaran before. It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas. near the kingdom of Nepal. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Sharecroppers, children, means that they were sharing their crop. And the crop that was shared was indigo. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. He was illiterate but resolute. But resolute means but determined. So Rajkumar Shukla was a sharecropper. He was illiterate but he was determined. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. And somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhi. So he had come with the problems of the peasants of Champaran, and somebody had asked him to talk to Gandhi about the problems, and so he had come to meet Gandhi. Gandhi told Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. Usually, children, it happens that the place about which we do not know, that becomes less preferable for us. So it might be possible that as Gandhi did not know anything about Champaran, or he did not have any idea about the place, and the other reason that he was already committed to go to other parts of the country that he knew more than Champaran, so he was not interested, or he gave a little less priority to Champaran. So he never agreed to go to Champaran, and he never committed to go to Champaran. So Shukla accompanied him everywhere because Shukla wanted Gandhi to visit Champaran. Then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. For weeks he never left Gandhi's side. So it was his tenacity that broke Gandhi, and that changed the opinion of Gandhi about the place and about his visit to Champaran. So wherever Gandhi went, he followed him, and ultimately Shukla pleaded him, requested Mahatma Gandhi to fix a date to visit Champaran. Fix a date, he begged, he implored. Impressed by the sharecropper's tenacity, determination, and story, Mahatma Gandhi said, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such a date. Come and meet me and take me from there. So Gandhi agreed to go to Champaran because he was impressed by the determination of the sharecropper, and he might have thought that as he was again and again asking him, requesting him to visit to Champaran, so it might be possible there was an important matter that was to be seen, or that problem was to be solved only by Mahatma Gandhi, and so Rajkumar Shukla wanted to take him there. Months passed. Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointed spot in Calcutta when Gandhi arrived. Haunches means he was prepared that Gandhi should give a green signal and he should take him with him. He waited till Gandhi was free. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. When Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of the Congress Party and of India. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. So, children, when both of them visited Patna, they visited Rajendra Prasad's house. When they both visited Rajendra Prasad's house, though Mahatma Gandhi was not known to the servants of Rajendra Prasad, they thought that Gandhi was another peasant, as he had accompanied Rajkumar Shukla, who was a peasant. The servants of Rajendra Prasad knew this man Rajkumar Shukla very well, because again and again he was coming with the problems of the sharecroppers to Rajendra Prasad. Shukla, as a poor yeoman is a farmer here. So they let him stay on the grounds with his companion Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. We are talking, children, about those times when the Indian society was divided into Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishnav, and Shudra. Shudra, the lower class people, they were assigned the work of farming and the other lower activities of the society. So they were counted to be untouchables. And as Mahatma Gandhi had accompanied Rajkumar Shukla, an untouchable, or you can say a lower class person. So he was also asked, Mahatma Gandhi was also asked to sit on the floor or on the ground. But Gandhi was not permitted to draw water from the well, lest some drops from his bucket pollute the entire source. As Mahatma Gandhi was considered to be untouchable along with Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhi was also not allowed to touch the water of the well. Gandhi by caste, children, was a Vaishnav, was a Jain, but here he was considered untouchable, as I said, because he accompanied Rajkumar Shukla. How did they know that he was not an untouchable? Because they never asked him. So they did not know that Gandhi was a Jain by caste and he was not an untouchable. Till here we are going to do the lesson today.